Eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. We begin tonight with the latest on another school shooting in America. A gunman believed now to be a 17-year-old female student opened fire at a private Christian school in Madison, Wisconsin earlier today. Police say at least 3 people are dead, including the suspect. At least 7 others were injured. Police said their injuries range from minor to life-threatening. It happened at the Abundant Life Christian School. Nearly 400 students in kindergarten through 12th grade attend that non-denominational school. This was their final week of class before Christmas break. Police have not released a possible motive. Of course, there will be much more about this later at 6:30 on the CBS Evening News. President-elect Donald Trump spoke about a number of issues important to him at Mar-a-Lago today. Trump answered questions for more than an hour in his first news conference since winning the election. CBS's Christian Benavidez has the latest from West Palm Beach, Florida.
President-elect Donald Trump was joined by SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son, who announced plans to invest $100 billion in U.S. projects over the next 4 years.
He's doing this because he feels very optimistic about our country since the election.
The announcement kicked off a wide-ranging news conference that touched on the border wall Trump started in his first term, with the president-elect addressing President Biden's decision to sell off unused portions of the wall.
It's almost a criminal act. They know we're going to use it, and if we don't have it, we're going to have to rebuild it, and it'll cost double what it cost years ago, and that's hundreds of millions of dollars.
Trump also questioned the government's handling of the mysterious drones, which have appeared in the night skies over the Northeast.
I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should.
Trump was asked about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s opposition to vaccines, his pick to lead Health and Human Services.
Bobby he's a very rational guy. I found him to be very rational. No, nothing, you're not going to lose the polio vaccine. That's not going to happen.
RFK Jr. is meeting with senators for the first time this week ahead of confirmation hearings. Christian Benavidez, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Trump also said he would consider a pardon for New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who is facing federal fraud and corruption charges. Washington, D.C. is once again facing a potential government shutdown. The deadline is Friday, and funding for farmers has caused a stalemate, according to several sources involved with the matter. Both Republican and Democratic aides say they believe Congress will be able to come to an agreement that keeps the government running through March 2025. However, right now, the bill on the table does not have additional assistance for the agriculture world. With yet another sighting Monday morning, concern continues to grow over those mysterious drone appearances across multiple states. You heard the former president just talking about it. In New Jersey, authorities released a heat map to help track drone sightings in real time. Lawmakers are calling for immediate action to address the concern. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security say there is no evidence of a current threat to national security or public safety. The Israeli military says sirens sounded across central Israel after a missile was fired from Yemen and was shot down before it crossed into Israel. The sirens were also heard across the city of Tel Aviv. The Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen have repeatedly fired drones and missiles towards Israel in what they described as acts of solidarity with Palestinians in Gaza. Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO in Manhattan, has retained a high-profile New York attorney to represent him as he faces a second-degree murder charge. Karen Friedman Agnifilo, a former Manhattan prosecutor who worked as chief assistant DA for 7 years, is representing Mangione. His popularity only seems to be growing as well. A defense fund set up on his behalf raised more than $115,000 by Sunday.
Well, we started the day off with rain pushing through eastern Kentucky. Then we got a little bit of a break, and now the rain chances are picking up yet again. There's the latest with live pinpoint Doppler radar. You can see that rain stretching from Moorhead through Jackson, through London, and then over towards the Monticello area. Now, the rain chances will continue as we go throughout the next several hours. And there's the London Corbin Airport right now. You can see how the runway is just downright wet. Temperatures right now are in the 50s and 60s. We're at 61 in Manchester, 61 in Whitesburg, as well as Prestonsburg. Louise is at 61, 57 in Moorhead, as well as London. So definitely warm for this time of year. And again, we'll keep the rain chances in the forecast as we go throughout the next several hours. We'll see temperatures in the upper 50s by 10 o'clock, and that trend will continue for the 1 o'clock time frame. When you wake up in the morning, temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s will greet you. Now, we do have rain chances continuing in the forecast for the next several days and cooler temperatures. Find out the details coming up in the first alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. Baking is a holiday tradition, and Americans use more butter this time of year than any other. Last year, it was up 16% in November and December, but this year the cost of butter and other baking ingredients has jumped even further. CBS's Nancy Chen visited a dairy farm near Albany, New York to find out why.
Gingerbread houses, holiday pies, cookies for Santa. They're the sweet treats of the season. But their prices are enough to make any baker a Grinch.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
The price of baking essentials like flour, milk, and sugar have all spiked in recent years, with eggs more than doubling in price and butter almost 30% more expensive today from 5 years ago. But those hikes are often not enough to offset the increased costs here.
She was just born. Yeah, she's less than 20 minutes old.
Where dairy farmers like Nate Chittenden in New York's Hudson Valley say the higher price of operating is also squeezing more people out. Because milk is priced by the government as a commodity, individual farms can't charge more to processors when their costs go up.
Between the increased cost of feed and the increased cost of labor, how difficult is it financially for you?
It's a struggle every year. We are one big mistake away from being bankrupt.
Chittenden depends on being part of Cabot Creamery's co-op as a lifeline while taking care of nearly 1,000 cows, the third generation of his family to do so.
This herd produces about 6,400 gallons of milk each day, with much of that churned into butter. And there's a big appetite for it. The average American consumed 6.5 pounds of butter last year alone.
While demand continues to climb, the challenges for farmers nationwide do too, as they now also struggle with labor shortages, bird flu outbreaks, and extreme weather. The most recent numbers show about 40% fewer dairy farms than just 5 years before, the most dramatic dip in 30 years.
How concerned are you right now?
It's hard to find an optimistic, sunny farmer. No matter how rough a day we have, you get to the end of the day, you get home with your family, and you say, we're going to do better tomorrow. I don't need a pat on the back to do this job, but I need people to understand what it takes to do this job.
Still, Chittenden says knowing the business for this family feeds into special traditions for other families keeps him going.
When I go into the grocery store and I see products that I know started on my farm, there's pride there. Not every dairy farmer can point to a product in the grocery store and know that their milk is in it. That brand means everything to us.
Speaking of those special traditions, when it comes to saving money on your holiday dishes, a little planning can go a long way. Many baking ingredients like butter or even flour freeze well, so buy them when they go on sale and stock up for use year-round. You can also consider substitutions like yogurt or even applesauce instead of oil in some baked goods. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
One of the many challenges of parenthood is deciding how much to indulge kids at mealtime. To help with that, a recent study looked at the impact of sugar consumption on long-term health. The study found kids who were less exposed to sugar or restricted from it in utero and early childhood had a lower risk of type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure later in life. Officials say moderation with sugar and all foods is the best way to go. As the holiday countdown nears the single-digit mark, one Whitesburg business is encouraging people to shop local. Coal City Coffee in Letcher County is spreading the holiday cheer through discounts. The business is working to support other small businesses during this crucial time of year. They remind folks shopping local helps local families buy their own Christmas gifts.
For a lot of businesses right now, it's a struggle, especially during this holiday season. And we just want to encourage shopping locally, which is why right now we're running a deal that if you bring in any local receipts, we will give you a 10% discount on your order.
Based on what I heard.
The business is also extending its hours this week. They will be open from 7 in the morning until 8 each evening at both the Jenkins and Whitesburg locations. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, many people have financial regrets. We'll hear